So, speaking of Mexico and Mexicans, the real world with Tammy Lynn and them dropping the N-bomb. So I don't know which one it is. For lack of a better term, it was the white guy. He was explaining the story with the hat on in the chair. He was explaining the story, and then all of a sudden he drops the N-bomb. Then Miss La Cienega gets all upset and is coming at him about dropping the N-bomb. Then she drops the N-bomb, and Tammy gotta say, whoa, sis, you're Latina, with the cigarette in her mouth. With the cigarette in her mouth, and was like, you can't say it either. So I'm just,
They're Mexican or they're white?
One was white.
One was white.
And one was Mexican.
One white
so
man
the white guy.
Okay.
So I don't know how this, because we only saw bits and pieces of the because it's the real world reunion or something that's on MTV now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all from the real world. They're like coming to house, staying together. The All-Stars.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were in the living room having a conversation. I don't know how they got on the topic, but the white man said he was with a black person and somebody called him the N-word. And he was like, they were calling me the N-word. He's talking to himself, like, she was like, you are not the N-word. They're talking about your friend. He was like, no, they're talking about me. She was like, you not saying that out of your white mouth that they was calling you the N-word. They're calling the other person an N-word. So the Latina got up and was like, you have no idea what it is to be the N-word. And she's like, you can't say it either. You Latina. But like this day and age.
Yeah, but like the Hispanics always say the N-word.
They do.
New York, Puerto Ricans.
And I was gonna say, like,
I hear a lot of range. Fat Joe got controversy for that over the summer with his verses, but he's been using his entire career. They do, Christina. This is a fact.
But Latinas,
but J-Lo too. That doesn't make it okay.
B. She says the N-word all the time.
They say it regularly.
Wait, hold up.
And she got no black in her.
Okay, so I agree, Christina. It doesn't make it okay. Let me be clear, because I don't want people to hear this audio and be like, that nigga is fucking tripping.
Yeah.
Let's Hispanic folks, since inception, I'm born in 87, so I'm telling on myself, have always used the N-word. Like,
correct.
Yeah.
But that
now the white dude using it is a whole nother discussion. I'll let y'all tee off on that.
That's crazy. Now, I mean, yeah, of course. Like, I feel like when it's dealt with, anytime I have white friends, like in
I went to school with them.
Me too. My best friend.
They say the N-word in front of you?
And I have been
called
guilty.
each other the N-word.
I have been guilty of it. Sometimes don't get mad at me, but I have been guilty where like I would end up calling them my N-word. You know what I'm saying? And they will feel so uncomfortable. I know they feel so uncomfortable. It's like, oh my God, you called me that. And like I just, it slipped out, but look, for me being a kid, like growing up, like, like for me, hearing it, of course, it's our community, and of course, it's coming from a white person. I mean, that's a total like cross of barrier. Like I've never had a white person call me that. My friends have never done that at all. Anyway, but like I feel like that is a big no-no. But at the same time, when we use it so freely, and when we give like basically permission for, like, you see the Latinos doing it, the Latinos doing it, community doing it. You see, other communities that say whatever, especially like I said, the Hispanic community most definitely saying it. Like to me, I mean, who are we to say who can say what? Like when we do it, even though it's our culture, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that whites can say. I'm not saying that.
That's what I'm like. I did not see.
No, slavery has gone on since the beginning of time. Okay, first of all, that's a hierarchy system because we enslaved our own people back in Africa. So look, we're gonna talk about slavery. Slavery's been going on. Slavery didn't exist just with black and white.
Well, let's bring it to the U.S.
Let's bring it to the U.S. now. Of course, I don't condemn. I don't condone slavery. Point blank. Period. No, and I don't think white people should ever say that. But I'm saying that when we're talking about, I guess, nigga, excuse my French, but hey, that's what it is. What is the A? I feel like that's a term that we say so freely.
But we're also like in a time where, like with music. So remember we were at the Kanye and Drake.
Oh, they went crazy
in front of us. We all, it was a row.
They know every word.
And
nigga.
Like,
and they said the N-word.
And everything.
Don't look at each other like.
We looked and I'm like, shut up.
Like, should you say something? Because they singing the words out of the song.
But I know everybody having a good time. We having a good time.
That's Chris' favorite album too, Donda.
And we don't.
Oh no, I'll shut it. I'll shut it down.
Tap them on the show and be like,
and
you can't say that word. Like,
but they were saying it like
they were saying
blatantly.
it like it was
so
nothing.
Christina and I have a shared experience. We both grew up around white people.
Okay.
Went to all white schools for the most part, greater part of our lives before college. I too can attest to what Zoe just said. I have been around white people calling white people the N-word.
Is that crazy?
It's weird. And I feel like the cat is out the bag on the word. So to some degree, Tea Time does have a point. Like, we can't police something that white people now have taken back to call each other. Like, how do you police that? You're in the midst of two white people. Like we were at the Kanye Drake. It's a whole world going crazy, Christina. Everywhere.
It's like, not enough. It's not enough slapping going on.
Well, I mean, Christina, what do you want in that moment? Do you really want us to get up and slap white people calling white people nigga?
Like, don't you call him that?
Like
call me that.
No, we can
pull
him to the side and just say, hey, like. I mean, but it was just like it was in the moment.
Yeah, like it was real awkward. Like
it was like awkward. It was very awkward.
Every time I see a white person call a white person a nigga, I think it's awkward. For the record, y'all want to?
I mean, I haven't personally like. Well, I mean, with the concert. I mean, to the screening we did. Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Oh, thank you for the great seats.
Yes. We went to the premiere of the screening of Drake versus not versus.
It really felt like a versus, but it was Drake and Kanye. Free Larry Hoover concert.
Yeah. And they were saying every single because they are diehard Kanye fans.
I didn't realize that either till that night. Like this shit was weird.
Love them some Kanye.
They loved them. They knew all Kanye's new shit.
And they were saying
A to Z.
And they were saying the N-word and stuff. And me and Zoe look at each other like, and it does make you uncomfortable because it's like, I don't know, but it's a whole row of them. And you want me to go pat on the back like, you can't say that word. You can't say that word. You can't say that word.
No, I didn't say pat. I said slap.
What would you do, Christina? What would you do?
You would do it?
So you would get up, you would tap them and slap them?
Tap them and slap them.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Now that you said it like that sounds good.
That's what
they were.
You would
risk like muted. They were like,
you would risk your livelihood for some white people.
They were muted.
Calling white people niggas.
But when the drinks, when they start getting more drunk, then the real niggas start coming out. Yes, because at first they were beefing them. They were like when the N-word would come, they were like, and then sing the rest of the song. But as the night kept going, the N-word was dropped very frequently.
But I mean, I don't know, like Christina, I feel you saying some extreme shit right now. Like I said, we from the same area. We know if they're saying it in rap songs, when they go home behind closed door, they saying the real word. You really fitting to risk your livelihood. You just said you took the vaccine to preserve your livelihood. Now you want to tell me in the same breath you're going to tap a random white person, calling a white person an N-word and smack them?
They were doing
so I was just joking as far as the slapping, but I definitely would make them feel uncomfortable. Like when they said nigga tap tap, yeah, could you not? Thank you. And yes, I would.